key
Sure.
classes right into the smallest school in the
Right.
state. We have 63 supervisory unions, 63 superintendent's offices in the state of Vermont. We're in Chicago and they've got one.
Right. Well, I come from White Plains, New York, and they had one.
So-
and I think White Plains is bigger than Vermont.
And you know, one of the things that I think is really mistaken is when we talk about fixing staff ratios in Montpelier as opposed to locally. When you have a school where 84% of the students are on free and reduced lunch, like Lowell, and another school where 13% of the kids are on free and reduced lunch, like South Burlington, what is needed in the classroom is a radically different equation.
Right.
The teacher who's teaching those kids in Lowell is probably one of the lowest paid teachers in the state of Vermont, with all kinds of challenges that go beyond learning how to read. And you need to understand, local school boards are plugged into that. And Dave Sharp and Phil Baruth were definitely not
And
plugged
they're the
into
ones,
that.
the authors of this. I think
That's
Phil
right.
said, he told somebody in writing that he was the author of it all. So
Well,
thank you,
whoever
Phil.
was the author, but whoever was the author was
Right.
certainly not very familiar with the Northeast Kingdom.
Now, that's another thing on the teachers' salaries, I think, and if depending on what they're paid in each individual school, you'd probably have to lift the bottom up to the top,
might.
correct? So,
Well, yeah.
so
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
you might see teachers, which I'm sure the teachers would love, but it would be an impact on taxes again if you raise the salaries.
There's all kinds of reasons why this is not fiscally responsible. When you start putting, one school wants to fill more seats at its school, so what they do is they start putting a lot more kids on buses. Those buses aren't cheap.
Yeah, right.
That transportation isn't cheap. The insurance for those buses isn't cheap.
Let's talk about my most favorite thing, the giving over of our land for $1 to the supervisory union. Could you, because I thought, well, this isn't so bad if they close the small schools.